All right, guys. Good day to you, wherever you're watching me from. This is Mr. Kweku Official. I know it's been a very long time since I put a video here on my YouTube channel. I've had to deal with a lot of personal issues, and I'm hoping to bounce back. So expect more content, expect more helpful information. Now, if you're new to my channel, I talk a lot about online businesses, digital marketing, and basically how to make money remotely, okay, from the internet. However, I thought let me add a bit of travel in terms of like travel information and helpful information about relocation routes. And in putting this together, I realized that sometimes it's not just about travel, it's not just about opportunities, but it's about preparation. And I realized that most people I talk to don't have certain information or certain documents, and as a result, when the opportunity even comes, they miss out on it. So I've titled this video Important Documents Every Ghanaian Must Have. Now, if you are a non-Ghanaian watching me from any part of the world, I'm going to mention some documents, and if you feel, well, in my country we have this document that's equivalent to this other document I have mentioned, you can note it down. Okay, so for example, in Ghana we have something called TIN number. TIN number is like a social security number in the USA or an NIN number in the UK. All right, so you can put all this together. Now, I'm doing this video because I want you to have these documents not just for travel, but also job opportunities and other opportunities that may come. Okay, this would help you at any point in time. And I've always said that it is best to have a document you don't need than not to have it and one day need it urgently. So let's get into it. I don't plan for this video to be long. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of useful and helpful information on this channel. So let's move into it. So I've put the first category of documents or items into main. Okay, so what's the main? If you're Ghanaian, please have your Ghana card at all costs. And those of you in Ghana and who are also Ghanaians can testify to the fact that now we are linking everything to the Ghana card. Trust me, it is a very, very helpful thing. When I saw the Ghana card being brought out, I was excited because when I was in the UK, I saw a similar thing with my British permit. Okay, the British permit has this thing like a SIM kind of thing. Okay, and I saw the same thing on the Ghana card, and I could use my British permit to travel. So when I heard that the Ghana card can be used to travel, I was excited, and I realized that it was possible because I'd seen it before. So please have it. Okay, it will come in handy in many ways. I'm sure very soon, almost everything in terms of verification, you will need a Ghana card. In terms of anything, official documents, you're going to need your Ghana card. And it's not just that, you see, now that you can even use it to travel, it will be a very good source of ID, probably outside of the country. So please, at all costs, have your Ghana card. The next one is to have your passport. Yes, I know sometimes in Africa or in Ghana, it may be tedious. Even though the system has been digitized, we all know that there are some people who still want to delay the process so that you would, we all know what I'm trying to put across, okay? But of course, have your passport, okay? And at the end of the video, I'm going to give some details about all these documents, all right? So have your passport. Next one is to have your driver's license. Now, why do you need a driver's license? Aside it being a source of ID, okay, it can be a stepping stone to more opportunities. Now, what do I mean? Look, for those who have relocated abroad and they are watching this video, they can testify to the fact that when you go abroad and you don't know how to drive, some companies will not take you. Okay, so once you have a driver's license, okay, you can use that to apply for an international driver's license in Ghana, and then after applying for that, you can even get some other documents of which you can now use to go abroad, quickly get either a driving job or any job, and then you get the verified license of that country and you can use that to operate. Okay, and trust me, even in Ghana, I think some companies too are there who prefer that they have somebody who can drive. Where I work, for example, if you know how to drive a manual car, okay, you are given some other opportunities that others don't have. You understand? So please, at all costs, learn how to drive and get a driver's license. You can pay a driving school, some 2 weeks intensive, some 1 month intensive, 6 weeks intensive. Okay, it won't take your whole life, just a short period. Learn it, or learn it at home with a trusted person. Then go to a driving school, which will help you get a driver's license, or go to the DVLA, okay, in Ghana, and get your driver's license. The next one is the voter's card or the voter's ID. Now, at all costs have this. Okay, it's not just useful for elections, but personally, from what I've noticed, the voter's ID is as powerful as the Ghana card due to what they call the guarantor system. You know, to get a Ghana card, you need a guarantor system, right? Where somebody must show that they know you, or they are your guardians, or your parents, or your what's the name, grandparents, or your relatives. Okay. Now, once you have this voter's ID, okay, you can use it for other stuff. Okay. Sometimes when you're filling some documents, you need this voter's ID. And for those of you who want to be active in politics, obviously you need the voter's ID. Okay. I also have this view that maybe you may want to travel abroad or something, but you like to see that Ghana maybe has a certain level of development, and you believe maybe a particular political party can do that, or a candidate can do that. Once you return to the country, it will not be too late for you to go and register. You already have your voter's ID, and you can you can vote with it. All right. This one is the birth certificate. Please, at all costs, have this one too. Trust me, they come in handy when it comes to various applications. When it comes to even like getting your Ghana card and other documents, you will need the birth certificate. Mind you, in Ghana, being born in Ghana does not make you a Ghanaian citizen. It's the same system, I think, in the UK too. In the UK, if you're born there, it doesn't automatically make you a Ghanaian citizen. All right. But with the birth certificate, okay, once they can verify that you, your parents, okay, are Ghanaians, then you qualify to be a Ghanaian. Not just that, in some corporations and some applications and opportunities, you have to show that you were indeed born on a certain day. Okay, so that's how come sometimes somebody may be in employment and all of a sudden the person is randomly sacked. Okay, and he's sacked because they found out that his birth certificate shows that he's older than his actual age that he has presented. So have it at all times and at all costs. Okay, next one is all your school certificates. Okay, especially WASI and your degree certificates. This also includes master's degree and your PhD. At all costs, please have these degrees lying somewhere. It will really help you. All right, you can use it to apply for scholarships. You can use it to apply for schools abroad. You can use it as even proof that you speak English. If you're from an English-speaking country like Ghana, you can use your WASI certificate as proof that you can speak English. All right. Then also to the next one is an ATM Visa card. Now, sometimes it shocks me that people don't have this. Okay, please, at all costs, I know mobile money is very convenient, but please get a bank account. And one thing I have noticed personally is that bank transactions are actually cheaper in terms of transactions than mobile money, because with mobile money you are charged e-levy and mobile money charges, but with bank transactions sometimes they can even say from this amount to this amount, okay, it's the same charge, no e-levy. All right, so please have a bank account and then get an ATM card at all costs. I know they'll be charging some fee every month, but it's worth it. Okay, why am I saying this? And also I wrote ATM Visa card because you may want to get a MasterCard, but I recommend a Visa card. MasterCard has a lot of, let me say, regulations, because they want to check and confront or monitor anything like fraud, anything like scam. So let's say, I remember one time about 3 years ago, I was trying to make some transactions online and my MasterCard did not allow me because they wanted to be sure that I'm indeed approving that transaction. So they held the money for 9 days before they approved the transaction. Meanwhile, too, it was a transaction I needed to be approved immediately. You understand? So please try and get a Visa card. I'm not saying MasterCards are bad, but I'm saying that the Visa card doesn't have much of that restriction. All right, good. Now, what would you use this Visa card for? A lot of online payments. If you're applying for a school or something, I don't think you can just use mobile money to pay for that school, right? If you're applying for, let's say, a hostel facility abroad or something, or an Airbnb, you need a Visa card to pay for it before you get there, or to at least secure your reservation. So please have it, because I've met people who don't have this, and I'm like, so how are you expecting us to make this application go through? Okay, so please have it. Okay, just go to your bank and get it. Now, the next one is an email. Again, I've met people who don't have emails. Okay, I know not everybody is IT savvy and all that, but I believe everybody can learn. Okay, the same way you go on social media and you see some people commenting, sometimes insulting people, but if you should meet the person in real life, he's not as literate as you expected, but he has been trained on how to use social media. So that's my whole point. Get the email, okay? Get one email. 2, you can even have multiple. There's no limit to it, okay? And you can have one for official stuff. So this email is what you use to register for anything official, including where you work and all that. All right. So these are the main documents I believe every Ghanaian must have. The next one, if you're employed, okay, have your appointment letter somewhere. All right. Now, what is the appointment letter for? Let's say you want to travel abroad. Okay. Now, one thing about immigration that you have to know is that most times when you are being given a visa, the visa officers or the immigration consultants, all right, they want to be sure that you are not planning to go and stay in that country. You understand? So, for example, let's say you are applying for a Schengen visa. A Schengen visa allows you to travel all around Europe, okay, to the Schengen area, all right? So you can travel to France, Germany, and other countries that are in the Schengen area. Now, you go to, let's say, Netherlands embassy, and you put in your application. Once you can show that you have a job in Ghana, all right, that's has employed you and your appointment letter is still valid and all that. Once you can show that, the visa agency, okay, is tempted to believe that, oh, this guy has a job in Ghana, so he's tied to Ghana. So that's what they call proof of ties. So sometimes somebody applies for a visa and is bound because he did not demonstrate enough proof of ties. You can use your appointment letter as a proof of tie, like I'm tied to Ghana. You understand? Even when you get to the border, the airport abroad. So you've left Ghana, all right. You've gotten to, let's say, Netherlands, all right. When you get there, okay, and maybe they are kind of, let's say, worrying you because they don't believe that you go back to your country. You can show them that I have a job, so I'm here for holidays or something, all right? Yes, because I'm saying this because sometimes people go there on visit and either overstay or something. But trust me, when it comes to immigration, there are multiple ways of staying in the country, okay, even after visiting the country. Let me add that I'm not an immigration consultant. I'm not an agent. I can't help you get a guaranteed visa. Okay. I just research, and whatever I'm sharing with you is what I believe is true at the moment. I'm also open for new ideas and any form of correction. All right. So yes, have your appointment letter with you. Then next one is a pay slip. A pay slip also shows that you have been employed and you are being paid. So once it has your details that this person works for this company and he's being paid, again, it's proof of ties. Okay. Aside that too, you can use these things to apply for loans. You can use it to apply for certain credit facilities, and other opportunities can come your way, okay, where you can show that, yes, I was indeed employed here and I deserve this opportunity. That's why I'm saying that have this at all costs. Next one is what? Your ID, okay? The ID I'm talking about is an employment ID. So where I work, I have my ID. You understand? So you can also have what? Your ID. That shows that you work at this place, all right? So that's for those who are employed. Then now let's look at business owners. Now, if you're a business owner, please have your registration certificate lying somewhere. It gives authenticity to your business. It gives some authorization to your business, and also you can use that as proof of funds. Proof of ties of which was the name. You're going to come back to Ghana. So, for example, I know a blogger who travels a lot, and he said that he uses his business registration certificate, okay, for his visa applications, that he owns this business and all that. So when they say that, oh, he owns a business in Ghana, therefore there's no need for him to, let's say, run away to another country, they easily give you visas. This is how come musicians especially, okay, are able to leave the country and never come back. If you remember back in the day, we used to have a lot of musicians who would leave Ghana and we don't hear about them again because they had proof of ties, either their record label, the company they're working with, or because they're popular. The embassy thought that, oh, this guy, he's popular in Ghana, he's making money in Ghana. There's no fear that he'll come to our country and not go back to his country. So they gave them the visas. You understand? Good. And I also added that any other authorized documents. So any other documents that show that indeed this is your company that you own, or it's a partnership or something. All these things can help as proof of ties. They can help you get other opportunities, maybe some grants. Okay. And let me also add that sometimes, okay, one of the ways of getting a visa is through a conference. So let me use Canada, for example. Let's say there's a conference in Canada about YouTubers. Okay, so YouTubers in Canada are moving together to have a conference, all right? Now, you know that if you want to attend that conference, okay, in your application, you must show that you are in that field, or you are, let me say, related or doing something in relation to that field. Okay, that's why you want to attend that conference. Let's imagine you are a YouTuber and you're applying for a nursing conference in Canada. You may be bounced. Why? Because they don't believe that you have any, let me say, relation or anything to do with nursing. But you are a YouTuber in Ghana and then you can show clearly that you've even registered your YouTube channel as something. Okay, good. And as a result, you want to apply for a visit visa to Canada to attend that conference. You can show that, you understand. So, and you know, some of these countries, when you apply for the visa, they give you like 5 years, 10 years. You see, so all these are things that you must have if you're a business owner that can help you with other opportunities. Now, these are others. So if you did your national service, please have your national service certificate somewhere. It can authorize the fact that you have relevant experience in a particular field. So sometimes there's an immigration route, or let me say an opportunity for you to relocate to another country, but they want to see that you have at least 1 year experience in a particular field. Okay, your NSS certificate, which can authenticate that you have experience there, can be of good help. You understand? Also, you know, in Ghana, if you don't do NSS, there are some things that or some positions that you may never get, especially when it comes to government. You understand? So please, if you did your NSS, please have your certificate somewhere. All right. Next one is English proficiency letter from your university. English proficiency letter from your university. Now, this is only helpful for those who are applying for schools abroad. Okay. You know, most schools abroad or in some countries want to be sure that you can speak English. Your English proficiency letter can help. And even your WASI certificate that shows that you wrote English in your exams can also help. Okay, so this one, you go to your school, you get it, that's your university, you get it and you put it down somewhere. All right, but our advice is that if you want to get this one, get it when you're about to apply for the school or when you're applying for the school. Okay, you don't need to get it and leave it somewhere for a long time. All right, next one is passport photos. Okay, which you can do Ghana style and the US style. When I say Ghana style and US style, I'm talking about the dimensions. And if you go to any professional photographer, they can tell you, okay, this is the Ghana style, okay, this is the US style. All right. Now, have it, okay? And if you're applying for anything like, let's say, a job or a visa, ensure that the pictures that you have, that's the passport photos you have, are no more than 3 to 6 months. Okay, so I explain. Usually no more than 6 months, but I prefer about 3 months to that opportunity. You understand? So 3 months to just have it, okay, somewhere. And make sure that you have it both in hard copy and soft copy. Okay, they can transfer the soft copy to your email and you can just have it there anytime you can access it. Besides, I mean, when I even apply for schools abroad and all that and they need your photos, you will need a soft copy to be uploaded onto their website. So please have it and it will be helpful for you in the future. Next one is other certificates from events and short courses. As I said, sometimes an immigration route will open, okay, and they need a certification to show that indeed you have experience in that field. And sometimes a short course you did, all right, can authenticate that fact that yes, indeed you have this experience. All right, have those certificates. They can come in handy at any time. Even let's say, for example, sports. You were very good at sports in your secondary school. You got some awards and certificates. You can apply for sports scholarships in some universities abroad. So please have those certificates and keep them somewhere safe. Next one is an international driver's license. Again, for this one, it is for those who want to relocate. Now, when you have an international driver's license, it's easier with this, okay, to get a driver's license of the country you are going to or to even drive around. So, as I said, in some countries, if you don't have a license, some jobs will not take you. So now that you have your international driver's license, it's easier for you to get what? The country's license, especially in US and in Canada. All right. And then let me add that you can also get an abstract from DVLA. So what's an abstract? It's a letter showing your driving history. So that letter shows your driving history from the time you started driving to now. It shows that you've not had any criminal record or anything, or even if you have had any, let me say, malpractice, it's not that much. Okay. And as a result, if you have an abstract, especially for those who want to go to Canada, okay, when you have an abstract, you will get your Canadian license faster. You will get your Canadian license faster. So please bear that in mind. Next one is a picture of your signature. So rather, I meant a scan of your signature. You can sign your signature somewhere and scan it and keep it in your email or something. Okay. Sometimes when you're applying for stuff online and all that, they will need your signature, and you cannot sign on the computer. So what do? You upload your signature or you paste it where it's needed and then you upload it. You understand? So please have it somewhere, okay, and store it safely. And I'll tell you what to do. Next one is an affidavit. Let's say you have multiple names due to some circumstances. So maybe when you're born, your name shows Efia Ifwa Osei Mensah. So Ifwa Osei Mensah is your name, right? Now, when you got to your junior high school, your teachers just said Ifwa Mensah, Ifwa Mensah, and then by the time you realize on all your official documents on the school it was Ifwa Mensah. So when you go to BEC, it was submitted as Ifwa Mensah. Now, when you go to secondary school, they were like, they want your birth certificate first, and on your birth certificate it showed Ifwa Osei Mensah, but your BEC results has a different name. And as a result, you have to go and swear an affidavit to show that you are actually the same person. Okay. So when you do that, you need that affidavit, okay, at different times in your life because you never know. Let's say you got married, okay? When you got married, or before you got married, your name was Ifwa Osei Mensah. But when you got married, your name became Ifwa Osei Kuma. Now that your name is Ifwa Osei Kuma, you need that affidavit to show that you are the same person, okay? So that if, let's say, you have a passport that has your previous name, when you get to the airport or something, or you have to show that, let's say, you're the same person, you can say, this is my affidavit that shows that I got married and I have to change my name. All right, so have the affidavit, okay? It will really come in handy. And then marriage certificate or divorce documents. Now, when you're applying for, let's say, visas and all that, sometimes or most of the time they'll ask you for your marital status. All right, and then if you say, let's say, you're married, okay, and you don't have the certificate to show, when it's time to give you the visa or when they ask for proof and you can't give them the certificate, it becomes a whole new wahala. Do you understand? And this is what happens usually to some of the people who get the American lottery. After they win, if maybe they're in the process of divorce and they chose divorce, okay, after they win and they get to the interview to be sure that they are the same people, and they ask them that, you said you are divorced, can I see your divorce certificate? Once they say, I'm in the process of divorce, that's it. Their visa is cancelled. So please have these documents at the right time, and when you're applying for, let me say, any visa or anything, if you're not yet divorced, please put it there that you're still married. Okay, that's if you're not legally divorced. If you're legally separated and there's an option for that, you can put it there. That's legally separated, not because the two of you have a misunderstanding. If you're about to marry, you have not yet married, after the time of applying for your visa, please select that you are not yet married, because if you select that you are married, and let's say the marriage does not come off, it's your own wahala. The next one is your TIN number. So this is for Ghanaians, okay? If you're in America or any other country, you must have that social security number. Now, the TIN number in Ghana is like, I think it's for taxes, right? Good. And it can help you with employment. So please have that TIN number. And the last one I added was NHIS card, okay? In Ghana, we have this policy where you can get some free healthcare on some health services. So just have it, okay? It can come in handy at any time, all right? Good. So this is it for the documents I believe every Ghanaian must have. Let me add this information. So take note of these things. Ensure that your name is the same on all your documents, okay? If it's not the same, as I said, you can swear an affidavit, okay, if your name is different on any document to show that you are the same person, all right? Now, ensure that your documents are not expired. So if you notice that let's say you have to renew any documents, please renew it ahead of time, okay? Let me give you an example. So let's say your passport is going to expire in, let's say, December 2023, and you're applying for a visa, okay, that should allow you to go to, let's say, America in November. It's likely that you're going to be bounced. Why? Because the American embassy is going to look at your passport and realize that your passport shows that it's going to expire in December, and you want to go for a conference in November. What shows that you are going to return back to Ghana? You understand? Or let's say the conference is in November, and your passport is actually expiring in October. Please do not even give it to you. Do you understand? Let me also add that, let's say, for example, Canada, when you apply for a Canadian tour visa or visitor's visa, they usually give you 10 years. But if they notice that you have, let me say, 1 year left, they will not give you more than 1 year on your passport. Do you understand? So please ensure that at all times, your documents are not expired or they are way ahead of expiry. Do you understand? Yes. And then also, I added this, which is the most important to me. Please scan all your documents and keep them in your email.
Welcome, guys.
So I've done
so in this video,
I scanned all my documents.
I'll be showing
That's
you
my important
the
documents,
requirements
and then
needed
I named
to
all of them,
apply for
and
the
then I
US
uploaded them to my
program
email draft,
2026,
okay, so
popularly known as the
I
US
can access
lottery.
them. Now, why is this important?
I'll also show you what
Remember that
qualifies
when
you
you are, let's say,
and what does
applying
not
for jobs
qualify you to
abroad and
apply,
other stuff,
and what you could do
they need you to
to
send them your
potentially
documents
increase
or
your chances
your
of
proof of
winning
whatever.
the US
You have
visa
to send
lottery.
a scan. You
So
can't
if
send
you're interested in content
like this,
hard copy.
please consider subscribing. If, let's say,
like this video,
you plan to go to a country and get a job. Okay, for example, Canada now allows visitors. So if you go to Canada as a visitor, they now allow you to convert your visitor's visa to a work permit. That is if you get an LMIA job. Okay, so if, let's say, by the grace of God, you entered Canada and you got an LMIA job, they would allow you to convert that visitor's visa to a work permit. But mind you, if the employer says that I want your documents, okay, the truth is this: if you took your documents in your luggage, all right, and you're passing through immigration, and immigration got to see that there were documents in your bag, all right, they can bounce you, and if you're not fortunate, they can ban you from that country. Because as I mentioned, when it comes to immigration, if you said you're coming there as a visitor, then they don't expect you to come and work or find work. If you say you're going there as a student, they expect you to be in class, not to be working all the time. If you say you're going there or whatever purpose, they expect you to go and do that purpose and go back to your country. Do you understand? So if they notice that this person said he's coming to Canada for a visit, but he has documents plenty in his bag. When we open the bag, we saw that he has his school certificates and other certificates. It means he has an intention of getting a job. The Canadian immigration people will say that, please, we can't allow you to the country, and then you can also be banned. And mind you, if you are banned in some countries, you are banned in many other countries. All right. So that's why it says scan all your documents, so that when they need it, you can always either print it out or send it to them via email. All right. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much. Please share this video if you found it helpful. And on the next episode, I'm planning on doing some videos on the American lottery, which I believe will be very helpful to everybody. All right. So all the best. Welcome, guys. So in this video, I'll be showing you the requirements needed to apply for the US DV program 2026, popularly known as the US lottery. And I'll also show you what qualifies you and what does not qualify you to apply, and what you could do to potentially increase your chances of winning the US visa lottery. So if you're interested in content like this, please consider subscribing, like this video, and leave a comment. You can also share it as well, so that it may benefit other people interested in travel and relocation. So let's not waste much time. Let's get into the details. So this is an overview of the DV, or the Diversity Visa Immigration Program. Let me first state that it is not a gambling thing or a lottery thing. Now, the reason why it's given the name lottery is due to the randomness with which applicants are selected. This is not like you are putting in money or you're sticking a bet. And I'm saying this for those who may have religious sentiments towards applying for the US visa lottery. The lottery is more of a nickname. It's not even the actual name. The DV lottery program, or the DV program, that's a diversity program, is actually an immigration route. Just like you apply for a visitor's visa, a tourist visa, a student visa, a spousal visa, a visa to go for a conference. It's the same thing. You understand? So it's just a visa route. Now, the US instituted this, okay, to get a diversity of cultures into America. This is because America is naturally built by immigrants. The Europeans came there, blacks were brought there, Hispanics and the rest come there, Indians have come there, Chinese have gone there, Europeans and people from all over the world have all migrated to America over the years. So the diversity program is to have a diversity of cultures, is to make up for cultures in the country. So I will have Ghanaian Americans, Nigerian Americans, Chinese Americans, Russian Americans, Rwandan Americans. That's all. You understand? So people from different countries and backgrounds are brought into the US to create what we call some balance. Now, it's very similar to what the Canadians call the express entry system. They too have a program for bringing immigrants every month or within certain periods to Canada. For the Canadian express entry system, is based mainly on points. So you create an account on the site, okay? You put in certain details that may give you points. So let's say you have a master's degree, you get more points. Let's say you're married, you maybe have children. Maybe you've also written the IELTS, which is a requirement for immigrating to Canada on many levels. If you do all these things, you get some points. And once you pass the cutoff point and they are picking immigrants, they'll also pick you. Okay. Now, there is no cost to apply for the DV visa immigration program. It's totally free, but it comes with certain rules. No countries get more and no countries get less, but some nationalities are not allowed to apply due to certain reasons, and I'll get into that very soon. They distribute the winners across every country, so no country gets an upper hand. So don't think maybe because you come from a particular country and you didn't get, maybe it's because you come from that country. Every country gets an equal amount of people that are picked. Okay, so as a result, if your country has at least 50,000 people who have migrated to the US within the last 5 years, your country will not be allowed to apply for this year. That is the only rule which sidelines some countries. If you've had about 50,000 people who have migrated to the US from your country, they will not allow your country to apply. So we'll get to a point where I'll show you the list of countries that have been, let me say, I don't use the word blacklisted, but are not eligible to apply for this year's US DV program. Now, if you're a dual citizen and you have a second nation, you can apply for it. Maybe you are a Nigerian and Nigerians are not allowed to apply, but let's say you are half Nigerian, half Ghanaian, or you have a British passport, or you have another country passport, you can still apply. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because sometimes people get agents to apply for them. And that's why I'm showing you how you can apply on your own. This video is mainly to show you the requirements. Then in the next video, you're going to see step by step how you too can apply for the DV program. Okay. Now, what happens is that agents sometimes take people's information and register for them. And they never share the unique codes, which I'll show you. That's the unique confirmation number with those people. Then after the people win the lottery, they go to them and say, hey, you won the lottery. But before I'll give you your code for which you can now use to apply for the main visa, all right? Because after you win the lottery, you now have to apply for the main visa. You are going to pay me X amount of money before I release it to you. And in some cases, when the people don't release the money to them, they go and get a relative or a friend who will pay them or who they like. Okay, let's say a relative that they would want to help. Let the relative go to the registrar general's office or any place where they can change their details, and then they'll change their details, that's their name and everything, to the person who wants details, and then they use that to apply for the visa, and then they go abroad. You see, so please, that's why I often say it's best to apply on your own. Note that every single year, more than 10 million plus people or 10 million plus people apply for the US visa lottery all over the world, and the chances of getting is very, very low. Okay, but that should not stop you from attempting. Now, why did I write this? Because some people feel like if I didn't get, I mean, it's like I'm not lucky. No, it's not like you're not lucky. Mind you, they use a random way of selecting applicants, and that's why I like this system, because there's no discrimination. Unlike other systems where you need this, you need that, you must have this X and Y amount of money in your bank account and all those things. This one, they don't discriminate. Your academic background does not matter. Religious background does not matter. All that matters is that, do you belong to a country that's eligible to apply? Just apply with the requirements, which I'll show you shortly, okay? The DV lottery program, as I said, is non-discriminatory, and no one gets an advantage over anybody. So if you have a PhD, it doesn't mean that you get it faster than somebody who just has an SHS degree. Now, for those of you from other countries watching my video, I'm from Ghana, so certain terminologies and stuff I'll use are very familiar with the Ghanaian environment. They will understand me better. But when I say SHS here, I mean secondary school or high school certificates, okay? I'll try my best to be conscious of certain terminology that may not be familiar to other Africans or other people from other countries watching my video. So let's move on. So what qualifies you to apply? First of all, you must be at least 18 years and above to apply for the US DV program. Now, even if, let's say, the person is going to be 18 shortly after the deadline, which is on the 5th of November this year, please, I beg you, don't let the person apply. The person must be 18, okay? So if right now the program is open from the 4th of October all the way to the 5th of November. So within this period, if the person is going to be 18 years within this period, he can apply. But after, if he's going to be 18 after, he should not apply, because when you finally win the lottery and you get to the interview and they realize that you were younger, they can disqualify you, okay? So please, only 18 and above are allowed to apply. Number 2, you must have at least a secondary school certificate or secondary school education, or 12 continuous years of schooling. That is 6 years primary, 3 years JHS and 3 years SHS. Or you must be able to prove that you have 2 years working experience plus a certificate that proves that you have some education for that job. So let me explain this point. One of the requirements is that you must have at least a secondary school certificate, okay, or some form of 12 continuous years of learning. So maybe you did 6 years primary, 3 years JHS, and then some extra courses along the line, okay. That also qualifies you. Or you must be able to prove that you've done some 2 years work experience. So let's say you dropped out of JHS. Let's say you dropped out of JHS, but you went to IPMC in Ghana, which is an institute that trains people in IT. So you went to learn IT, okay, for let's say about 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and then you have certificates to prove that yes, you have proper education in that field, and you've worked for 2 years plus. You still qualify. You understand? By the way, JHS here means junior high school, and in foreign countries, okay, class 1 to class 6 is similar to, let's say, our class 1 to class 6 in Ghana. Then they have grade, I think, is it grade 7, 8, 9? Then they have grade 10, 11, 12. That is like our SHS. You understand? So it's the same thing in Ghana. And that's how they, let me say, demarcate the educational timeline. So there's a second requirement. The next requirement is that you don't need your passport before you can apply. Okay? However, ensure that whatever details you provide in terms of your name, date of birth, and those things are the same on your birth certificate or on your passport, because you need these things to prove, okay, when it's time to go for your visa. So the fourth point is similar to the third point. Okay, this one is when you're applying for it, when you are now putting your information. Just ensure that you put the right names, email, and your date of birth, those stuff, okay? They can easily affect you later. So your name and all those things, when you are inputting it, and we'll get to that when I do the video on how you can apply step by step. Next one is, majority of people get disqualified due to bad passport photos. Now, what qualifies you? What can give you an edge? Okay, what can possibly give you an edge is having a good passport photo. That's a passport photo that meets the requirement. It must be the American size passport photo. There are certain dimensions that it must fit. Aside all those things too, it must be clear, and your posture and everything must be all right. And you see all those requirements on the DB Lottery website. Okay, you can go there and look at it. All right. And for those who wear spectacles or wear hijab or are concerned about their hairstyle, please go and read about the guidelines. Now click on a link. I'll show you a link at the end of this video where you can look at all those guidelines for yourself. Then also too, if you have changed your name due to marriage or something else, or you have multiple names due to certain things, please have an affidavit for it, okay? Have an affidavit for it. So frequently asked questions. What if I don't have an SHS certificate? As I said, you must prove that you have 2 years of work experience, and then you must have a certificate that what authenticates that you had some education in that field. That's it. So let's say you learned carpentry. Can you go to some kind of maybe TVET school, okay? Technical vocational education training, okay? Just go and learn that, get some certificates, and that's more than enough, all right? Then, how can I increase my chances of winning? Do it yourself. That's the first thing. Do it yourself because, as I said, some people can keep your code from you until you pay them money, or they can misplace your code. It's not for them. They can misplace it. So do it yourself. And when I say the code, I'm talking about the confirmation number that you get at the end of applying, which you see in the video when I show you step by step how to apply. Then, if an agent or somebody is doing it for you, please be sure that you have the confirmation code at the end. It's often sent via email, okay, to confirm you have submitted your application. Make sure you meet the age and education requirement as an applicant, or let a relative add you as a dependent. And that one is also for those who are, let's say, married and all those what's the name, people, family people. If you add yourselves, you have a higher chance of winning. And I explained it on. Next one is, does your geographical location matter? No, it doesn't make any difference wherever you are. You can be in America, Ghana, Nigeria. So far as your birth country or your nationality is eligible, you can still apply. And it doesn't give you any edge. If you have, let's say, a relative in America, or let's say you're staying in America at the time of applying, it doesn't give you an edge. As I said, there's no discrimination here. There's no the only thing that gives you an edge is mainly your passport photo. And if you and let's say your spouse apply, and let's say your spouse gets it. So let's say myself and my spouse apply. All right. Now I get it. My spouse automatically gets the visa. You understand? She wins it. I also automatically get it. That's some of the things that people do to get an edge. And I've seen people who would add, let's say, cousins and nephews and nieces as dependents. Okay. And when they get it, then those cousins and nephews and the rest all get a visa. When they go abroad after some years, then they file for their parents to come and join them. We'll get to all that later on, all right? Then does your device or internet help? No. But it's good to have good internet. It's good to have a good device that will not give you so much stress when you're applying. That's all. The device you use or the internet does not change anything. Whether I'm using a laptop, I'm using a phone, it doesn't change anything. The interfaces are similar. You understand? Then can I apply if I have a US green card? No. You already have a legal stay permit, so there's no need to apply again. All right. This is only for non-green card holders and non-US citizens. Can I apply if I'm yet to marry? Yes. If you two would marry before the period of this, let me say, application. Now, it's a gamble. Okay. What I mean is that somebody can disappoint you. Let's marry. Then last minute, I'll marry again. So me, I personally, this is my, what's the name? My personal view about this. It's best you apply, okay, when you're married. So let's say from now to 5th November, please, if you're not marrying the person, don't add the person yet. I wrote yes initially because that's what one of my immigration experts told me. However, I'm hearing some other information that it doesn't always help. Okay, so please, it's best that you put in the information that is true as of this period. That is from the time the lottery is open to the end of what the application of the lottery. You understand? So from 4th October to 5th November, make sure that whatever information you are putting there is legitimate. It will help you later on. All right. Next thing is some helpful tips. Pay attention to details. Do not put in multiple applications. Let me explain. If you put in multiple applications, that is me. Let's say I put in my information first. Then I come back and put in another information. I'll get disqualified. How? They have an AI tool that will look for possible multiple applications and then ban you. So please do not put in multiple applications. Okay? Just apply once and go. And by the way, multiple applications will not make you win like that. I mean, there's no those who have won the lottery and those who understand the system always say that there's nothing special that you do. Just put in the information and hope for the best. All right. Now, do everything possible to include everyone in your nuclear family, or make sure that everyone in your nuclear family applies so far as you're 18 plus. All right. That way, everyone qualified has a higher chance of winning. So what I mean is that if, let's say, myself and my wife have an 18-year-old child, he should also apply. You understand? Myself, I'll apply. My wife will also apply. Because when one of us wins, the person can easily file for the rest of us to join them in the US. Then add and list your children, including anyone you plan to adopt. So let's say you have adopted children or you have stepchildren. Add them in the application. Okay? As I said, this application period, add them. In Ghana, adoption for kids is below 18. So if the child is beyond 18, you can't say I'm adopting this child. Okay? And make sure that you have the adoption papers before the interview. Make sure that whatever if you say they are stepchildren, they are your adopted children, make sure that at the end of the day you can prove it during the interview. All right. Don't wear official dress codes like uniforms for the passport photo, like military uniforms, nurse uniforms, police uniforms. Don't do that. All right. Just don't do that. That's what I'll say. Don't use a passport photo more than 6 months old. Please, it's best to use within 6 months period. Then next one is when I say within 6 months period, I mean you see, we are in October, okay? And also November is coming. So whatever period that you took the picture should not exceed 6 months within this period. So in other words, if let's say you took the picture in March, that's more than 6 months ago. But if you took it, let's say in July or August, it's within 6 months. So please don't use a passport photo, that's American size passport photo, more than 6 months old. If you have a child that is 18 and above, as I said, let them also apply. Encourage your cousins and external relatives to also apply. Okay. I know somebody whose auntie applied, got it, went to the US and filed for her nephews and nieces and the rest, and now they are all abroad. You understand? So that's also there. All right. And that one is way after the interview. So don't think that, okay, during the interview, they can just do it for you. If you're married to the person, fine. But if you're not married to the person, they can go abroad and file for you to come abroad. All right. Avoid typos and placing wrong information at the right place and right information at the wrong place. So, for example, you put maybe your location, you put your name at your location. So when they ask for address, then you put your name there. Then maybe where your name is, you go and put maybe your location and all those things. It will affect you. All right. So don't do that. Ensure all your information or all the information that you put into the application is true and can be backed by official documents. Very, very necessary. Ensure that every information that you put into the application is true or is valid and can be backed by official documents when required. Don't wait the last week of application. It is possible that the system can get jammed due to internet traffic, or you may be needing some information that can take some time to get. It happens a lot. In Ghana, we talk about last minute stuff. Don't wait to the last minute. You have about 2, 3 weeks, 4, 5 weeks to apply. Okay. After you watch my video, just use 1 week to get everything sorted. By the next week, you can apply. Don't wait till the last week. I'm not saying that it will affect your application. Okay. Whether you apply first or you apply last doesn't change anything. As I said, there's no special thing you will do except for your passport photo being very good and except for maybe the system choosing you. But whether you apply on the first day or the last day, it doesn't change anything. All right. Ensure nobody applies for you if you want to apply for yourself. Multiple applications of yourself gets you disqualified. What I mean is that don't give your information to an agent and later come and do the application on your own. If the two of you put in the right information, same passport photos and all those things, the AI tool would capture it and then block your application, and that will get you disqualified. Print your confirmation number or keep it somewhere safe, and I'll show you all that in the next video. Everything you say must be backed by official documents. I said that. Make sure your place of birth matches with what is on your birth certificate. Okay? So don't say you were born in Accra, which is a town in Ghana, and then on your birth certificate, you're actually born in Kumasi. It can affect you. Next thing is put in a valid email which you can access. So I know people who they apply for this and they forget their email and they even forget their password. Please have a way of keeping your email address and password safe somewhere, or keep it to your mind. What I do is that I have a password that I can always modify. What I mean is that, let's say my password is called helpful. You see, that's my password. That's my password. In one document, I'll make it capital H, small e, L, P, capital F, U, and L. That's one of my, let's say in one of my logins, okay? That's how I'll do it. In another login, if they say I should put in another password, I can make it H, capital H, then the E will be 3, then the L, then the P, then the F, then U, maybe the L, the last L will be exclamation mark. Now, that's what I do. I have one password that I always modify, so that way I don't easily forget. So that when, let's say, I put in my password and they say error, or they say it's wrong, I just switch it to another modification that I have in my mind, and then I get it right, okay? So please, have this, okay? And I know some people are not tech savvy. They say media, I don't have email. What's the name? I don't know how to use this stuff and all those things. Please, as much as it depends on you, if you can use social media like WhatsApp and the rest, please also learn how to, use an email and keep the information, all right? Okay, so this is the last part of the video. Now, if you want any information, the US official website is travel.state.gov. Travel.state.gov. Okay, and one thing I want you to notice is that US always uses .gov. Okay, in fact, maybe a lot of them you see state.gov, state.gov. So when you see somebody saying American lottery, then you see .com or .org, know that it's a scam, right? And be very careful. Identity theft is real. So don't just put your information anywhere, because somebody can pick that information and use it for anything he wants to use it for and look credible as if he is you. You understand? So please, any information you want to find out, please always go to travel.state.gov. That's the official website for America, US visa applications. All right. So now we want to read the instructions for ourselves so that we are abreast with the right information. And let me also add this. I should have stated this disclaimer earlier. I'm not a travel agent. I'm not an immigration consultant. There is nothing special I'll do for you or I can do for you that can make you get a visa or travel abroad. All I'm doing is I'm sharing any information I know that is true as of the time I'm sharing this video. So it's best for you to always do your due diligence, find out more, go and research for yourself so that way you don't come back and say, I deceived you. All right. And also, there is nothing any agent would do or say or try. That would make you get a visa at all costs. Now, what most agents do is what you and I can do. Just go to, if at any time you want to apply for any visa, do your own due diligence. You can go on the official website of the visa portal, okay, or the portal of the country, and then learn it on your own. It doesn't take so much time, all right. And actually, it's always best that you apply for visas on your own. I know sometimes there's a fear factor. There's the fact that you're not confident in yourself. Sometimes you're so concerned that you may put in some wrong information and all that. And most agents, due to constantly applying for some of these things, have mastered certain things. That's why they seem to have an edge. Okay. But look, it's best you do it on your own to prevent any form of struggle at the end of the day. So I'm going to click on this link, and then it's going to take us to the official page on the US website that will show us every instruction regarding the diversity visa program. So let's click on this link. You can look at it. I'm going to drop the link in the description. You can click on it. It will take you straight to the particular website. All right. So let's do this. Awesome. So after I click on the link, okay, it takes you straight to this page where you're going to see the diversity visa instructions. Let's quickly read through so that we are abreast with the information from the official website. So you see that what is the diversity visa? The Department of State administers the diversity visa immigrant visa program, which is an annual program for immigration to the US or the United States. Up to 55,000 immigrants can enter the United States each year from countries with low rates of immigration to the United States. Have you seen? So you see that the actual name is called the diversity visa, not American lottery. So those who still have religious concerns about this, is not a lottery. Is in fact, I think whoever gave it that name has really worried many people. Okay, it's not betting. It's actually a visa route, like the same way you apply for other visa routes. Okay, it says, how do I apply? Applying is a multi-step process with strict deadlines. You should read about the entire process on this link. Okay, there's a link here. The entire process on the diversity visa program webpage before you start the free online application. The DB 2026 program instructions explains in detail who is eligible and how to complete the first step of applying for the program. All right, so these are important notes. Beware of frauds and scams. I've spoken about that. Don't pay money to anybody. Nobody can apply and make you get an edge, nothing, except for, as I said, your passport photo being very good. All right, then this is the timelines, okay, that they mentioned when it's going to open and all that. Now let's click on this, okay. Let's click on this. It will open the PDF page, and then we can read more on the instructions. Let's click on it. Good. So again, it's repeating the same information that we just read. All right. As I mentioned, it's the same thing. Okay. What the program is about. So now let's look at the countries that are not eligible to apply. So it says that for DV 2026, natives of the following countries and areas are not eligible to apply because more than 50,000 natives of these countries immigrated to the United States in the previous 5 years. So these are the countries. Number one, Bangladesh, Brazil, Canada, the People's Republic of China, including mainland and Hong Kong born, Colombia, Cuba, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, India, Jamaica, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Philippines, Republic of Korea or South Korea, Venezuela, Vietnam, and then they said that natives of Macau, SAR, and Taiwan are eligible. With the exception of Cuba, which is not eligible for DV 2026, there were no changes in eligibility from the previous fiscal year. All right, good. So the rest is the requirements. What's the name? Again, the first requirement is that you must be from a country that is eligible. Okay. Your work experience or school, all those things. That's second requirement. I mentioned all that earlier on. Okay, the timelines and all that for completing your application. Let's see. Basically, that's it. Okay, and the good thing is that they've even included what? They've included sorry about that. They've included some frequently asked questions. Okay, you can click on it and read more. All right. And You can also watch more YouTube videos. I'm not the only person who is sharing this information. There are wonderful YouTube channels I've seen that are also sharing similar information. Okay, and you can get all that you need from there too. Okay, and so these are the things that you're going to see. That's your name that you must enter, your gender, your birth date, and all those things, the city where you're born, and you see all of that on the official website when I do the video. Okay, and the next important thing is what the photographs, which we'll look at separately. So if you enjoyed this video, this is the end of the video. Please like, kindly comment, leave a question, subscribe, which is the most important, and then also share so that others may watch and benefit from this information. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.
Hey, before you go, I have noticed that people who like such videos tend to absolutely love these recent episodes I did. So click on them and watch them to increase your knowledge set and your skill set. Thank you.
Good day, everyone, from wherever you're watching me in the world. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can personally apply for the DV program 2026, what is popularly known as the American Lottery. Now, if you are interested in content like this, kindly consider subscribing, like this video if you find it interesting, and leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns. For my returning subscribers, I'm very grateful for all your love and support. So let's get into this video. In my previous video, I stated that for all official US applications, the official website is travel.state.gov. In fact, for US websites, that's the official state website, you often see .state.gov or .gov. So in case you see any link around that has .com, .gh, something else, .org, it's likely to be a scam or a fraudulent website. And know that identity theft is very real. If you go and put your details there, someone can steal those details and use it for something else and it can go against you. So please be very careful. And that's why I always say that it's best you also do the application on your own, which I'm about to show you shortly. So the official link or website is dvprogram.state.gov. So just put it in your browser and then it will take you to this page you are seeing on your screen. Now, the first part says welcome. It gives you the details as to when the program is open for application and when it will close. And then the next one is the DV entry instructions, which I discussed in my previous video. And you may want to watch it before you continue with this video because I spoke about the requirements and what qualifies you and what can get you disqualified. So you may want to watch it and then learn one or two things. All right, so you can also click on it and then just spend 5 to 10 minutes reading through the requirements or certain things that you need or certain information that are very, very helpful. The main instructions can be found here, okay, where you see something like a PDF. So if you click on it, it will tell you a lot about the instructions, the countries that are eligible, the passport photos, and all those things. Okay, let's go back to the main interface. Then also you also see that there are photo instructions here, which will show you or guide you as to what are the requirements for the passport photo. Okay, it's not just any American size passport photo, but there's a certain level of standard they are looking for. So when you even click on it like this, okay, you just scroll down, you see more information. As you can see, they are saying that since November 1st, eyeglasses are no longer allowed. So those of you who wear glasses, those of you who also have any headgear like hijab and the rest, you can come here and read more about what is acceptable, what's not acceptable. Okay, if you scroll down a bit, they are saying that this image is acceptable. Why? The image is clear, it reproduces skin tones accurately, and does not have shadows. So this is not good because it has shadows. This is good because it has a bright background, which is white, obviously, and the skin tones also come out. This is also not good because it's blurry. You see, it's blurry. Okay, this one too similar, it's dark, but this is what's acceptable. So please, you can take your time and go through it. And what I'll do for the purposes or for the purpose of those who did not watch my previous video is that as I go along, as I demonstrate, I'll be chipping in some rules, some requirements, and all those things. Okay, and when it gets to the passport photo tool, I'll take my time and show you a helpful tool that can help you to resize your photos and get to the actual dimensions that are needed.
Mind you, the only thing that may give you an advantage is the passport photo. They want to see your face, they want to be sure that it is you. Okay. And it's not just an American size passport photo, but an American size passport photo that meets their requirement. Okay, so we'll get into that. All right. So this is the main place where we click on to begin the entry. So let's click on it to begin our entry. So where you see begin entry, let's click on it.
So after clicking on that link, it brings you to this page where they want to verify if you're a robot or not. And I know it's funny that a robot is also asking you to verify if you're a robot. Now, this is important because there are a lot of scammers, hackers, and the rest who are able to program either a robot or an app also to do these kind of things. And it may eventually use someone's information, like you and I, and for the application, and that can go against us. So we don't want that. We want to verify that we are indeed human. So what you see is these characters. Okay, it could be letters or a mixture of letters and numbers. Now let's say the numbers or the letters are not so clear in your eyes. You see this option here, which has an arrow going down and an arrow going up. You can just click on it, and it gives you new set of characters you can put in, which may be more conspicuous or more clearer to your eye. Then also too, maybe you are still not seeing the numbers or letters very well. There's an audio option here where you can click on it to hear what the characters are or what the letters are and numbers are. So let's click on it to be sure.
B N B Y Y.
Good. So it has told us what the characters are. So let's put them in as we see them on our screen. Okay. So I click on submit, and voila, it brings me to the next page. Okay, good. So this is the main thing or the main application. So now that you are here, ensure that whatever information you are putting here, eventually, once you win the lottery, you can back it up by official documents. That's in fact that's the main thing. If you cannot back it up with official documents, please don't attempt. Okay. So let's put in the right information as it appears on our official documents that we are going to present at the end of the day. Good. So the first thing is your name. Okay, your name. This is your formal or official name. Now, the first part requires your last name or your family name. So if, let's say, for the purposes of this video, we're going to use Thomas Yao Mensah. That's his name. Thomas Yao Mensah. Okay. Or let's say, let me change the surname to maybe Thomas Yao Osei. I'm going to use the name Thomas Yao Osei. So his last name is what? Osei. That is what? His last name. So let's put in Osei. Okay. And the first name is Thomas. And then the middle name is Yao. Now, let me explain it shortly. In Ghana, most of us when we're growing up, they say that when you're mentioning your name, mention your surname first before your first name and middle name. Okay. So some people unconsciously, it has stuck with them that they end up mixing their middle name and first name when they are filling official documents. So maybe when they are filling Thomas, guys, password they now okay. Oh, I put this password on. Those applies because not. Or they choose there's no or which or you did not complete because use what certificate schools or have your watches help. And this one means all 10 years certificate did not use degree. Or graduate content as the entry courses. Let's degree. That's degree. Degree time please or your any the time married or so they went to go like take a legal to okay. Lawful in Nigeria, US law. So he does not have even law this one. Citizen would have certified and show a limit to the person don't do things if you want to it's not so you want for the child the shape and children and on and for the ratio also in child like location. So it brings you straight here. If let's say put in your spouse maybe name to 0 and when you what is it I mean wow child so that so the child could join all right 1 then the child and the same yeah a lot for the rest one time okay another kind div and to use different and click okay see the start and is very damage have been but most of your dollars and all this what have you and didn't get doing no condition not let me also have for you and only help that is talking about in RAM due to have this case of few channels and them for very and subscribe if one of subscribers he's on simple also very VGA okay for me highest update without I just so you've lost it make sure every patient a program like instead next click on if the questions so
Hey, thank you.